Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to be here and to join us for this Lunch and Learn with Community Financial Credit Union. Today we have Kaylee and Dylan who are going to present. They're going to tell you a little bit about their the credit union, positions they have available, and just give you some great information. So with that, we'll let you go ahead. If you have any questions throughout, just feel free to just unmute yourself, ask, and we'll get going from there.
So thanks, Liz.
Thank you.
To echo that, thank you everyone for taking the time with us today. Really appreciate it. Really just wanted to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about Community Financial, who we are, give some insights as to us as an organization, and then potentially get some feedback from you as well. I'm really curious to know what is important to the outside world when it comes to the future of work. So any perspectives that you have are definitely excited. I would definitely be excited to hear about those. So a little bit about Community Financial. So we are a nonprofit organization headquartered in Plymouth. We serve the state of Michigan, anyone who lives, works, worships in the state. We currently have 15 branches that go throughout the Plymouth and surrounding areas, and then also up north in like that Gaylord area as well. So definitely growing, and we're definitely expanding. We just recently opened a new branch in Livonia last month. We did a soft open for them. It's more of a technologically based branch, so it's going to be completely cashless, and it's focused more on financial experience. So a little less on that service piece, but more on the experience and really getting to know the members to really help financially coach them through any goals that they might have. So as we sit right now, we recently acquired a new CEO back in June of last year. Her name is Tansley Stearns. Previous CEO was with the organization for about 40 years and decided to retire. So we were lucky enough to land Tansley. She has been in the credit union space for many years in various roles. And she definitely came with a different outlook than the previous CEO did. A couple of the goals that she has are not so modest, maybe a little modest, but wants to double our asset size and our organizational size within 5 years, and then double it again 5 years after. So we are definitely a busy and growing organization. I think one thing that I really wanted to touch on, we have been doing a couple different job fairs recently, and we do get some people who walk over and we'll start to talk to them, and they'll say, Community Financial, what do you guys do? And, oh, we're a credit union. And they'll say, oh no, I don't like banking. And it's funny to me because some people, when they think of a position within a credit union, they think of those experienced positions, those bankers, those tellers, branch managers, which are absolutely fantastic opportunities. But I think a lot of people maybe are unaware of the other opportunities that you get within a financial institution, especially a credit union. I previously come from a big bank where the opportunities were a little more scarce than they are with a credit union. They were based and headquartered out in Pittsburgh. So any corporate level, anything behind the scenes that you wanted to get into, it was required for you to be in Pittsburgh. One of the great things about working for a credit union is all your opportunities are here. They're all in Michigan. We have a very high rate of hybrid/remote employees throughout the state. And we also do employ through a couple different states at this point as well. We also offer a bunch of different mentorship programs that Kaylee's going to go into in a little bit, but regardless of where you're at in your career, whether you're just starting off in a professional space, or if you have years of experience under your belt in any facet of the professional world, whether that be marketing, accounting, graphic design, anything like that, we're going to have some sort of opportunities for you, and also a plan to help you get there. So that's just a little bit about the organization. We'll definitely go a little bit more in depth about some of these pieces. But Kaylee, is there anything you wanted to add at this point?
Um, yeah. So I know Dylan kind of touched on a little bit of our, some of our locations. We're mainly in like the Plymouth Canton area, surrounding areas. We have branches in Livonia, Wixom, Northville, Novi. Also, I apologize. There's a delivery walking up to my door. I apologize. My dog's bark, but um, one thing that is super great about community financial is I actually just started here in January of this year. And it's been such a great transition for me. Um, One of the things that our new CEO is very passionate about is that community involvement. So, with being a credit union, we actually do have student-run credit unions in over 50 schools in the local area. That's something that you can get involved in with yourself. And I know the whole organization is very proud of that as well. We also do have volunteer hours that you can use if you would like. Every team member does get 8 hours of volunteer time. Um, so we do have opportunities listed for people to participate in, or if there's an organization or a volunteer program that you are super passionate about, you are more than welcome to use some of that time to volunteer with that program. So really great opportunities to get involved with our community. Um, and I know Dylan kind of touched on, when you do see a credit union or a bank or that kind of industry, you think of just those positions of being that front-facing experienced team member, like a teller or a financial rep. But we do have a really great organizational development team. They work with career pathing. So we have mentorship programs. We also have this thing that is called Share Your Shoes. So maybe you are interested in a totally different department that you work in. I know, for example, I have a Share Your Shoes coming up with someone who works on the front line with our members. They're a member experience specialist and they're interested in the talent acquisition side of things. So what I get to do is kind of just have him share my shoes. So just kind of spend a day with me and see what I do. And that's a really great opportunity for this person to learn what they do like about this area and maybe learn what they don't like about this area. So I know that's something that I think it's a new thing. I know I'm fairly new too, but Dylan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know if I were in that position, it's something that I would definitely take advantage of. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. It's definitely something that we in the talent acquisition side of things look at. There sometimes are limited opportunities. I'm sure as everyone has seen, if you are applying for a job and it says that they're looking for 1 or 2 years worth of experience, but it's an entry level position. These are excellent ways to get that experience to then move into the type of profession that you're working in. A couple of things that I wanted to add, Kaylee, just regarding the student-run credit unions. I'm not sure if everyone's aware, but it was recently signed that a high school course will need to be taken and credits will need to be received for financial literacy. Throughout the state of Michigan. So community financial has definitely been ahead of that curve with those student-run credit unions. What we're doing is working with students grades K through 12, and based on that grade level, we're going to teach them about financial literacy. So these students are actually running their own credit unions within the schools. They're all going to have their own sub brands within the school, and they're going to, make deposits and cash checks, and they're going to have their accounts, and they're going to learn about the importance of money, and they're all going to have jobs within the credit union also. So it really helps them to get some of that experience that they can then take on, later in life. I know personally, growing up, I wish I would have had some of the financial coaching that I think these students are getting, because when it came to, turning 18 and making these decisions on my own, I kind of felt just like that I was on my own. So we definitely provide a lot of those resources, and we'll definitely continue to partner with the schools to offer out our assistance for those financial literacy credits that will soon be needed. I also wanted to talk a little bit more about some changes that Tansley, our new CEO, implemented. Again, sometimes when you think of a financial institution, you can definitely think of something like a stuffy or over professional organization, and that's something that we're definitely looking to stray away from. One of the first things that Tansley did when she started, probably within her first week, is she addressed our dress code, which some people may think is not really that important, but in the long run, it absolutely is. So we are a big believer on bringing your best self to work. So, rather than wearing those suit and ties every day and just not feeling comfortable, we really want you to bring your true authentic self. So if that means you want to dye your hair blue and get your nose pierced, then absolutely, bring that person to work. Like, let's talk about that. And, it's absolutely something that's encouraged. So, no more are the days of a complete suit when you're going in to talk to a banker or a teller. It's all about talking to someone who you can relate to and, being comfortable in your place of work. So I think that's something that's incredibly important. My last piece that I wanted to touch on before we move on to some more stuff here, just about the community involvement. One thing that we're starting here soon that we do every year is our Summer of Sharing program. So every day for 60 days, Community Financial donates $1,000 to local nonprofits in the area. It's a huge fundraiser that we're super proud of, and we definitely involve team members, and community members when it comes to who we're donating to. It's all about recognizing those organizations and kind of volunteering them to get that donation. So there's definitely going to be a huge drive for that throughout the year or throughout the summer. So we're definitely excited about that as well.
Yeah. I just to kind of shift gears a little bit, still talking about some of the things that I came in as a new employee that I was super interested in, but we have I don't know if you can read our background, but one of our values is we create belonging. um, so we have a great culture and belonging department. And one of the things that they implemented were these things called Thursdays. So usually about once a month or twice a month on a Thursday, they plan events for team members to come into the branch. If it's in the South District, we're usually going to the downtown Plymouth branch. If it's in the North District, it's usually at the Atlanta branch, I believe. But some of the examples of those things is I know around the time of the Super Bowl, we had a Super Bowl cook-off. So people were allowed to bring in a type of soup. There was football trivia, just fun to get together with everyone and taste different soups. And I know for me, it was one of my first Thursdays, so I actually got to meet people in person. That was fun for me. A couple examples of other things that they've done is they've had therapy dogs go in. I know that's really popular. They actually had 15-minute massages for people. I was super bummed that I couldn't make that one. And then I know recently, Tansley, our CEO, she actually just went up to the north and had a grilled cheese day on National Grilled Cheese Day. So she loves cheese. So um, and then we also do have some community resource groups. Dylan, I don't know if you want to speak on those a little bit. I know.
Yeah. So they're typically called ERGs, or employer resource groups. We put a little twist on them and we're calling them community resource groups. What these are is different opportunities for individuals within the organization to get together based on similar traits or characteristics. So for example, this is something that we just recently started, but we have founded 2 CRGs at this time, one of them being an LGBTQ plus CRG, and then another being a caregivers CRG. So this is really just a time to create a safe space with people, like-minded individuals, whether they are part of that community or allies of the community or someone who is just curious about the community. And we'll talk about different topics, whether that be mental health or work-life balance or different, exciting events going on. Obviously, Pride's coming up next month, so the LGBTQ plus CRG is definitely going to be putting on some events for that. And it really is just a great opportunity to connect with people in a little bit more of a vulnerable space. Like I said, we're all about bringing your best self to work. So these are your kind of comfort times where you can get together with people who may be struggling with some of the same daily activities that you are. When it comes to being a caregiver, it's something that can be completely draining, and you sometimes feel alone. So those are your times to get together with other people and really connect on that, maybe share some experiences, get some advice, or maybe just sit there and listen. So we do monthly meetings at this point, and then we are actually looking to continue to grow our CRG program. So we're definitely piloting a couple additional CRGs in the future, definitely a couple more by the end of the year. So lots of exciting stuff going on there.
Yeah. So I know we have really touched on kind of our organization as a whole, who we are, things that we have to offer. Does anybody have any questions so far, or I will take the silence as a no. So, I do want to share with you guys. I'll share my screen and show you some of the opportunities that we have for some positions that are open. So just let me know when you can see my screen.
Good.
Okay. So this is our website where you can put in an application to apply. As Dylan kind of echoed, where you want to be a part of an organization that, you're passionate about what you do, you bring your whole self to work. So some of the opportunities that we do have, I know Dylan touched on it in the beginning, we don't just have that experience and teller and financial rep positions. As you can see right here, we have a marketing position. We have, operations and development, network engagement, accounting. So stuff like that. These are just some of the positions that we have right now. I know Dylan shared that, our CEO is planning to double our assets in the next 5 years and then double it again. So what does that mean? We're growing and we're going to need more positions. So there's always new positions coming down into coming down the pike. So some of the opportunities that really kind of, when I was applying to jobs and looking for a new opportunity, some things that interested me in Community Financial is not only the great experience that I had with our talent acquisition team, is we do offer really great benefits. So if you were hired with Community Financial, you're eligible for coverage the first of the month following 60 days of service. So we have medical plans through Blue Care Network. Vision is through iMed, and then we have Delta Dental. So I believe Delta Dental doesn't cost anything to you. We also do have a really great 401k program, so that you are eligible to start contributing after the first of the quarter after your 90 days of service, if that makes sense. So Community Financial, you can contribute, I think we match up to 10% dollar for dollar.
Yep.
Dylan, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's super. That really interested me in this. I was like, wow, I thought where I was had a great match, but this is super awesome. And we have a really great total rewards department. So I know this is something that is super important to them, making sure that we are offering these types of benefits, types of programs that people can get involved in. And um, yeah. So Dylan, I don't know if you want to add anything onto that, but
Yeah, just along with the benefits, all employees do get 4 weeks of paid time off to use throughout the year. That does not include the 12 federal bank holidays that we currently observe. So even if you are not in branch, you still get to take those days off as well, which is great. And then, like Kaylee mentioned, we do have a fantastic total rewards team who is consistently looking to add additional benefits, some of those employee perks, whether that be gym memberships or local partnerships throughout the area to get discounts on, coffee or something like that. That's always something that we're working on. So building that robust benefits program is absolutely something that's at the front of our mind. We want to make sure that while you're working at Community Financial, you're being taken care of and you're able to utilize some of those great benefits that we have. So that's something that we're very fluid with, and continuing to add additional benefits. Perfect. So one thing that I did want to talk about when Kaylee was showing the careers page that we have, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but we do have a future opportunities posting on there. Essentially what that is if you were to decide that you did want to take, a position here with Community Financial, but you don't necessarily find the right job for you right now. Like Kaylee said, we have new positions that are coming through all the time. So what we have on there today may not be all that's on there tomorrow. So, if you see, hey, I really am interested in something marketing related, but maybe not on the digital marketing side, submit an application to the future opportunities posting. That'll notify us here in talent acquisition that you are interested. We'll reach out to you pretty quickly and talk to you about what your interests are. Maybe, after having that conversation with you, we do discover, hey, there actually is this opportunity that maybe you missed, or hey, we're going to have this new position coming through within the next week or so. Be sure to keep a lookout and apply then. We'll keep your information on file, and we really do look back on that to where when a new position comes up, we'll be able to say, hey, Liz, I talked to Liz about this one. I know she was super interested in this accounting position. So let me give Liz a call and see if this works out for her. So we're definitely very proactive and reactive in a sense to really find the best position for you. Along with that, I did want to touch on the internship program that we have, just to kind of cover all bases. Like I said, I'm not sure where everyone's at in terms of their professional career. So we do offer 4 different internships that come 3 times a year based on semester. We do have our summer internship that is beginning in 3 weeks, which we're super excited about. We do have a computer programming intern, a marketing intern who's going to be working more on that content creation / videography side of things, so more on the photography and editing piece. We have an experienced intern who's going to be working to really develop their leadership skills, and a learning and development intern who's going to be working. It's typically someone, I think some transferable skills are like education. So someone who has a degree in education or an interest in education, who maybe doesn't want to do that traditional schooling route. Those people are going to be the ones who train and coach all new employees throughout the organization. So super excited for those to come through. We do, like I mentioned, 3 a year, so summer, fall, and spring. So we'll definitely be starting to collect interest throughout the teams for spring internships coming up here soon. So like I said, depending on where you're at in your professional career, if an internship is something that you think is an interest of yours, it is paid, and it does last for at least 12 weeks and can continue on if it works for all parties. So definitely something that we're super excited about. Let's see, Kaylee, what else would you like to talk about?
I was just trying to think.
Yeah.
I think we kind of covered a lot of information. Um, does anybody have any questions about any of that, or?
Yeah, super excited to hear any questions. And also, I know we touched a little bit on the benefits piece. So like I said, I would love some perspective from outsiders, or what benefits are important to you when it comes to finding a new job? Is it that 401k match right now? Is it that, tuition reimbursement? Like, what does that look like for you?
Yeah, or feel free to unmute or put it in the chat, whatever you're comfortable with.
So I wanted to ask about what you do in order to train and develop your employees. It sounds like you use a mentoring type setup and also a share your shoes. What are those approaches, and how do you help the people who go through them derive value from it as they're going through it?
Great question, Scott. Thank you. We have a couple different approaches that we take. So training something that is something that we take very seriously here. We do have a learning and development team who's going to be working through that initial onboarding and orientation piece. Regardless of your level when you join the organization, we think it's super important for you to know the foundation of community financial, our policies, practices, procedures. We definitely put a fun spin to it. There are a couple different activities that we do for the first couple of days. After that, the training program is based on the position that you're in. So if you're working on that experience or that member facing side of things, you are going to go through a month and a half worth of training to make sure that you are completely comfortable, being in front of members and you feel as though you're not just being thrown out to the wolves, essentially, while still having team members by your side once you are actually in branch to help you. When it comes to anything support related, it's definitely a case by case basis. Like I said, we're going to make sure that you are set up for success. That's our number one priority. When it comes to additional development, we do offer tuition reimbursement throughout the organization. So, if you're interested in additional certifications or going back for another degree, that's absolutely something that we advocate for. Along with that, we do have an organizational development team, who's going to be working to get you where you want to be. Like Kaylee mentioned, we do have a career pathing program that they can take advantage of, essentially sitting down with one of the professionals on that team and talk about, okay, this is where I am now, and this is where I want to be in 5 years. What are some step-by-step plans that we can take and some initiatives that we can take throughout the next couple of years to really get you where you want to be? For an example, we have our chief HR officer. She actually started out with us 40 years ago as an intern. And has worked with different teams throughout the organization to get her to where she is now. So that's definitely something that we're really proud of here. We have plenty of interns who have taken that opportunity and taken themselves to leadership or other positions throughout the organization. Along with that, Scott, I know you mentioned the mentorship program. That's a month-long program where you would be working with someone on our leadership team in kind of a more in-depth share your shoes program. So you're going to be getting some insight from them as to what they did to get themselves in their role, what they think is necessary for that team member to complete, whether that be certifications. We have an emerging leaders program throughout the organization that occurs once a year. And that's for those team members who are interested in getting into some sort of leadership position. And it's going to be a year-long program. There's going to be different activities that you're going to do. There's definitely some coursework to do with that as well. But it's something that's taken very seriously here. And especially on the TA side, if someone mentions that they were a part of that program, it's something that's going to be highly considered. You're going to get a lot of great resources and tools through taking that program.
Thank you.
Of course.
Were there any other questions about anything?
Yes, I have a question, if I may.
Yeah.
How are the remote positions? Are you advocating persons working from home and specialist type positions?
Absolutely.
Is that something that's available?
Yeah. So even prior, obviously within the last couple of years, there's been that heavy switch to a remote type role with COVID and everything that happened there. We were actually ahead of the curve when it came to that. I'd say even before COVID, probably 80% of our workforce worked from home. I'm currently working from home. Kaylee is as well. There's definitely, times to come into the office, like Kaylee mentioned, whether it be those Thursday events. And then depending on the team, I myself as the manager of talent acquisition, I like us to come in just once a month, just to really collaborate and, get some face-to-face time. But it's really your preference. Our headquarters has on both our downstairs and our upstairs remote work capabilities. So you're free to pop in whenever you'd like to. If you need more of a private office, there are some of those. And then there's also some communal spaces as well. We do give free food and drinks while you're in office too. So there's a huge snack cupboard and refrigerators for you to take whatever you like. So yeah, it's definitely something that is encouraged here. We value that work-life balance. I know in my previous position, driving an hour one way for a commute was not something that was fun to me. So now at 5 o'clock, I get to log off and walk downstairs. So absolutely something that we're an advocate for.
Thank you.
Of course.
Hello,
I
Dalian.
have another.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. So I want to ask you one question. So I have completed my master's in information technology with a concentration in data science. So based on that, I am interested to apply in computer programmer intern job position. But my question is here. I already finished my master in the December 2021. So in that, based on that, I am still eligible to apply for intern position.
That's a great question, and I will follow it up with an even better response. You are able to apply for an internship position as long as you've been in school within the last 6 months. I will tell you though, we are actually looking to hire 2 additional computer programmers within the next month or so. So feel free to keep a lookout. Absolutely, if you're interested in that internship program, feel free to apply, but we also will have 2 full-time computer programmers that we're looking to add to our team within the next month or so. They're not live yet, but they will be coming up here soon. So if you don't mind holding off for just a little bit, we can definitely talk to you about one of those full-time positions coming up here soon.
Thank you.
Of course.
So I just want to go on a website and apply for that positions, right?
Yeah. So if you just head to cfcu.org/careers,
Mhm.
I can put it in the, thank you, Kaylee. That website right there will take you right to our careers page, and feel free to submit an application that way.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're
Looking
welcome.
forward to it.
Good. Thanks
Thank
for the
you.
question.
I have another question if I could.
Yeah, of course.
Your volunteer programs, is that something you have to wait 6 months or a year to get into? Or is that something you can do immediately? Or-
Good question. So all of our employee benefits do take into effect after 60 days of employment. The volunteer program itself, if you would like to work with our community relations team, we definitely take those connections at any point, but we do give 8 hours of paid time off a year for any sorts of community involvement. So those hours are outside of your 4 weeks of PTO that we give. You can use those 8 hours after the 60-day mark. And there's a way to request that time off there. But like Kaylee mentioned, we consistently have, additional opportunities. Like this Saturday, I'm actually going to an event to help with children on the spectrum that are interested in baseball. So definitely outside of my comfort zone, because I don't consider myself to be an athletic person. But yeah, we're going to be helping out with a couple little league league activities, working some concessions, and then potentially being on the field to coach and help out there. So lots of exciting things coming.
Nice.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask a question about what you feel are the top 5 skills that a candidate should come to the table with to help them become one of the people that you would choose for a position at CFCU.
Thank you for that. We used to have a list of core competencies that were added to all of our job descriptions and our postings that we put out. We kind of felt as though they were a little generic. It was tell the truth and kind of those kind of obvious things. Since then, we've kind of readjusted our values and kind of narrowed it down to 5. So that was a perfect number to give. So I can talk a little bit about our values now. One of them, like it says on our backgrounds here, is we create belonging. Like I mentioned, really having that safe space to be your true authentic self. We are one team, one mission at Community Financial. We're all working towards one goal. So bringing that that true self is going to bring your best self to work. Another value that we have is hustle and grind. We work hard. We do like what was mentioned. We are doubling our asset size in 5 years and then doing it again. With that does take some hard work. So after hustle and grind, there is a huzzah, which is essentially a celebration. Yes, we're going to work hard, but we're going to celebrate after. We do plenty of like organizational events that occur. We have a summer picnic coming up down here in the south, and then we'll do one up in the north. Last year, we also had an event where the entire organization went to Frankenmuth, a little up north there, and just spent the day as a team. So just those times to celebrate as well. We definitely recognize that. Another one that we have, maybe not as PC, is we give a damn, and that's one of our values that we have. So yeah, we truly do care. We care about every person within the organization. We're going to care about the team members, and we're going to care about the members that we serve. We truly do care about the mental health and well-being of our team, and also the financial well-being of our members as well. And I know I'm missing one right now. Kaylee, please help me tell me what that last one is.
The last one is relentless care.
Thank you.
So yeah, so pretty much just going the extra mile for whether it's, like Dylan said, your team member or one of our members of Community Financial, just going that extra mile, whether it's helping someone carry the stuff out to their car, or, hey, Dylan, I'm slammed with my work. Can you please help me with this? Just going the extra mile for everybody. So
one thing that I'll say that we're really focused on is when you think of a financial institution and someone going to a financial institution, a bank or a credit union, you're typically going for those happy moments. It's time. I bought a new house, now I need to get a loan, or it's my first car, so help me get approved for that. One thing that we're really looking at is some of those maybe not so happy moments. My spouse of 50 years just passed away, and I have no idea what to do. So providing assistance there, what resources can we give there? We're also super heavily involved in the city of Detroit, and we're definitely working on some affordable housing initiatives as well. One thing that we've done, I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with the show Bargain Block on HGTV, but we've actually partnered with the hosts of Bargain Block, and we are building homes in the city of Detroit, and we're going to be funding those loans for the city as well to help continue to stabilize the Affordable Housing Act in Detroit. So a lot of exciting things coming our way with some of those maybe not so happy moments that we can maybe put some ease on some of that stress.
any other questions or any feedback or thoughts on anything, or?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What are some skills that you're specifically looking for in the talent development intern position?
Talent development intern. So yes, good question. So that's recently switched to our learning and development intern. So that person is going to be working, like I mentioned, to help train and coach our new team members as they come in. So someone who has an interest in an education background, someone who is comfortable speaking in front of others. You're going to be facilitating presentations and helping to organize those. We do set orientations every 2 weeks. So that's a pretty busy team, and the orientations the training programs do take upwards of, whether it be 1 week or a month and a half, depending on the area that the new team members in. Someone who's organized, because they are going to be working to coordinate and facilitate those orientations, along with communicating with all new team members as they are onboarding themselves in, making sure that they have all necessary information and equipment to get started. Like I said, we do have a very heavy remote workforce, and we actually mail all equipment over to the team members so they don't have to head in to get everything picked up. So just making sure that they're completely ready and set up for success by day one.
Yeah. And just to kind of add on to that, I know when I was when this position came out and we were meeting with the team, I know they like Dylan said, that it could be someone who has a background in education or maybe even communications or HR. Just a curious person asking questions of, oh, why do we do it this way? Maybe we can do it this way, finding those efficiencies and then implementing them. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
I do have one question. I'm looking like at the positions that are showing online.
Mhm.
And I know you mentioned a future
Future opportunities.
yes, future opportunities. I don't see that here. Is there somewhere else that we can look for it? The only reason I ask is because the locations, like I live in Detroit,
Yep.
Plymouth and Atlanta, they're a little bit of a drive
Yeah.
for me. So I was wondering, like, where could I find that? Is there am I looking at this incorrectly?
Let me see here. So I can actually, let's see. So I will share my screen. So here is our website, our cfcu.org/careers. And then if you go to
Okay.
view open positions right here, it's actually going to take you to a different link than the one that we showed. We're actually switching our ATS, or our applicant tracking system. So currently we're working through ADP, but the one that we showed you is through Pinpoint. So these are the list of open positions that we have at this point. And let's see, future opportunities. Oh, that's the one for Atlanta.
No, the Plymouth one's on there too. If you click the +1 more,
Oh,
it has
okay. Plus
Plymouth.
one more location. Okay, so there's the Plymouth
Okay.
one right there as well. So yeah, feel free to submit an application there. I know you mentioned living in Detroit, like was obviously not an issue for us here, being a
Okay.
highly remote team. We have team members
Okay.
who are working in, or living in Lansing, St. Clair Shores,
Okay.
all throughout the middle between that, Gaylord and Plymouth area too. So definitely
Okay.
not an issue.
All right. And I do see it now. I must have
Okay.
just overlooked it.
No worries. There's a lot of them on there, so
Okay.
it's hard to catch them all.
Okay. I will I'll take a look at that, and no, I do have one more question.
Yeah.
There is a position that says Detroit on here.
Yep.
I mean, senior mortgage loan officer. I'm probably not there. I've had some mortgage experience. But with that position being in Detroit, is that like a remote position, or I'm just curious?
It's I'd call it a hybrid or on the road
Hybrid.
position. So that one's
Okay.
going to be traveling throughout the city of Detroit. We have it located in Detroit because that's like I mentioned for the Affordable Housing Act that we're working on here.
Okay.
They're going to be working in the city of Detroit. So you're going to be traveling to different neighborhoods in the city.
Okay. I just wanted to know. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Any other questions? If you
I
don't feel,
actually, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, if you don't feel comfortable unmuting, you can put it in the chat, whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay. Hi, I'm Maria. I was just interested on the marketing internships. Is that something that you guys are looking for, that someone has graduated and kind of wanting to explore the, credit union world, or something that someone's going through school, or kind
Either
of?
one.
Okay.
Yep. Like I said, as long as you've been enrolled in school within the last 6 months, you can qualify for the internship program. So regardless of where you're at in your career, yeah, just someone who that position is going to be working closely with our videographer. So we do have an entire in-house studio. So we have graphic designers, copywriters, a creative director, photographer. So we do all of our marketing in-house. We don't purchase any stock photography. All of our commercials and podcasts are homemade. So that in turn would be working pretty closely with our content creator on all of those pieces.
Okay, great. And also, is the remote team member support specialist still opened?
Yes, we just started a new one. Yes, we
Okay.
just added a new one to the team.
Okay.
And that person's going to be working pretty closely with all of those remote team members that we have, whether they have any issues getting things connected or something's not working. They're going to be helping to fix those issues.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Of course. What else? Keep the questions coming. I will go ahead and if there are no additional questions, I first off want to thank everyone again for taking the time with us today. I am going to put my email address here in the chat. Kaylee, if you wouldn't mind doing the same thing.
Yeah.
If anyone has any questions, about any of the positions, about the organization, please don't hesitate to reach out. More than happy to talk through any questions that you might have offline as well.
Great, thank you.
Of course.
Presenting things. We did record it, so we'll send the link out once it's ready to go, and we'll include the site for the jobs and your emails in that as well.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Very
Yes.
impressed with your culture.
Yeah, it's good. I'm
Very
glad.
impressive.
It's something that we're really proud of. We want to be that place in Michigan that people want to work. And we have, the longevity of it. Like I said, we have employees who've been with the credit union for 20, 30, 40 years. And that truly is based on the culture that we have, along with the opportunities for growth that we offer here.
One thing I think we forgot to mention is I know we are registered to attend the job fair on May 17th. So we plan to send everybody who attended this lunch and learn today an email. If you want to visit us at the career fair, we'll be there. And if you show us the email, there might be a little prize for you. So just keep an eye out for any emails from us.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. Well, if everyone's set, I guess we'll wrap that up. But thank you all again for being here. And it was a great presentation.
Awesome. We appreciate it. Thank
Thank
you guys.
you.
Thank you everyone for
Yeah.
your time today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you on the 17th.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
It was
so much.
wonderful.
Appreciate it. Bye guys.